Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is David Waugh, and I am with Managed Methods. I'm going to be joined here by my colleague Fred as well, who's a part of our solutions architecture team. Exciting day today here at Managed Methods as we are going to be introducing you to a new addition to the product family here at Managed Methods. We're going to be introducing our content filter product to help with SIPA compliance and student safety for Chrome in the Google Workspace. So we'll go ahead and wait a few moments to let folks get joined in, and then we'll just jump to it. Today's going to be a pretty straightforward conversation. This is an invitation for customers only. Of course, there's a flood of Managed Methods team members also here participating in the festivities. But we're going to also make this be interactive sessions since all of you out there are familiar with Managed Methods. I'm going to say a few words here to kind of set the stage, pass it over to Fred. We're going to get right to show you folks a demonstration of this, the new product. And then we're going to open it up to Q&A to the floor. We're going to ask all of you to have a little input. We'll have some questions for you and look for some feedback. So let's go ahead and get underway. We're a couple minutes past the hour. So again, good morning for those of you out in the Pacific and Mountain time zones. Good afternoon for you out there in the Central and Eastern time zones. Again, David Waugh, Managed Methods. Most of you may know me. If you don't, I am the manager for the sales and customer success organization here at Managed Methods. Fred Holt, who's joining me here, he is the brains of today's operation. And I'm going to say the beauty as well. I like that hat. Fred is one of our solutions architects, and he's going to be leading the demonstration. We'll come back to this slide, so you don't have to necessarily take a picture of the QR code to get access to the free trial. But let's go ahead and jump ahead. So just a couple housekeeping items. Yes, the webinar is being recorded. Sorry, my screen just bounced. Is that Fred? You see my screen? It's all full mode.
Good to go.
Okay, yeah, sorry, my screen flickered a little bit. Apologize. Just a couple housekeeping items. Again, yes, this is being recorded, so you'll receive a copy of it via email within about 24 hours or so. It takes a little bit for Zoom to process the video, so you'll have access to that. Of course, we're going to ask you to pop any questions at all, anything you have, popping them into the Q&A. Some folks prefer chat, but if you pop them in either way, we'll see them. And then, of course, we're going to open the floor up for some Q&A here at the end of this. This has been allocated for about 45 minutes, but we're not going to take up all that time today. And then you're all muted right now, so that's why we ask you to use the chat or the Q&A. That just keeps down on background noise, etc. Okay, without further ado, let's kind of jump into it. So what was our goal here? Obviously, the intention of Managed Methods is to continue to expand our offerings to you, our customers, and to the general public to continue to help education organizations have greater visibility and control over their environments, especially when we're talking about what students have access to, staff has access to within your realm of Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, etc. And based on customers' requests and feedback over the years, we finally decided, hey, let's set out and create a simple, easy to use and affordable content filter for school districts for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, the two primary use cases being SIPA compliance, for those of you that are very familiar with the Children's Internet Protection Act, and of course then student safety, which is what we call our safety signals platform. So it's browser level URL blocking, so you can apply permissions easily across your domains, your OUs, and or groups, and it's all integrated within the Google admin console to push out to the Chrome browser. It's very lightweight. It's quick and easy to get installed and up and running, and it's very, very responsive in terms of its performance and speed. Of course, our student safety signals brings forward artificial intelligence and machine learning, the same technology that all of you as customers know and love from our flagship cloud monitor platform that is looking inside the workspace. This is now going to be available to extend out to the browser level, again, in a very lightweight, efficient package. And Fred will talk a little bit more about that as we jump into the demo and the architecture. And again, it's browser based. And the idea here is that we're going to give you the end-to-end Chrome browser all the way down to the drive file or the mailbox or that email itself and the attachment right there inside of Workspace. So exciting stuff. It's new technology that we're bringing forth. You know, a little bit different than a lot of the industry standards that are out there today. And you know, this is our first introduction into it. It's only gonna keep going. So we're excited to be here with the group today. So with that said, why don't we? Let me jump over here. Why don't I just jump over? I'm gonna pause screen, Fred. Let's get you into it so that we can just get the folks right into a demonstration. And I'm gonna do stop sharing mine. You can go and share yours. And then we'll just get into the product demonstration, and then we'll open up the floor for Q&A. And along the way, folks, if you see something where you have a question, go ahead and throw that right away into the Q&A or chat, and we'll get to those towards the end of the demonstration.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay? And is my screen visible, David?
I'm seeing the screen and I'm hearing your voice.
All right. Well, I saw a lot of familiar names in there, so it's good to see you guys. Like David said, I'm just going to run through a quick demo here, and if you guys have questions, pop them in, and we'll do our best to get them answered for you. So like David said, it's really lightweight and easy to set up. It's about a 2-minute install process installed through your Google Admin Console. So just like the Google side of things for Access Monitor, it's extremely easy to get set up and running. Once it is set up and running, you're going to be brought to a page that's very similar to what you already see. Things are going to be broken down by tabs across the top of the screen. When you first log in, what you're going to see is a summary page, very similar to what you're used to. This is going to break down the top sites that have been visited. These can be selected by a time frame, so we'll set it to a month just to get a little more data, and we're going to be spying on everyone here at Managed Methods today. So once you're in, you get the top sites that have been visited, so you can see where people have been going the most, the top sites that have been blocked by the filter itself, and then account activity by day. So we can see weekends here, we're kind of falling off. Through the week, we're getting a lot more activity. This is going to be total number of sites that have been visited. And then we'll get account devices, accounts and devices based off of when they were last seen. And by last seen, we mean the last time that they reported to the central server. So the green is going to indicate servers that have reported back within the last 24 hours. Yellow is going to be within a week. And then anything gray is going to be greater than a week since they've checked in. We've broken it down next by devices. So here you're able to see all of the devices that have this installed. So for a Chromebook, we're going to show the MAC address associated with that device. For any other device, we are going to show a unique identifier. From here, we're able to slice and dice and filter devices by organizational units, whether they're managed or unmanaged devices, when they were last heard from by a time frame, and then specific email addresses associated with that device as well. So you can see here, we get a great list of just kind of all of the devices that have been reported to by this content filter. Selecting any one of the devices is going to show you all of the users that have logged in, the IP addresses that they've logged in from, and the locations associated with that. We'll also see, the full identifier up top, the Chrome version that they have installed over here, the account that is most actively logged into it, whether or not you've reported it as lost or stolen. You can simply click this button and it's going to report it as lost. Once we report it as lost, what the user is going to see is something, when they log into Chrome, they're going to see a block page showing that the device has been reported as stolen or lost. You can customize that message, so you can give a contact number or contact email, but essentially Chrome's going to be locked down for whoever logs into that device once it's been reported as lost or stolen. We'll also give basic details right up front for all of these devices as well. So is it managed? Which Chrome version is being run? The account that last logged in, the last known IP address and location, and the last time we heard from it. All of these can be exported to a CSV for your reporting needs as well. So if you just wanted to do a specific filter on devices that are lost and stolen on their last login location, you'd put a filter in place for that, click download CSV, and you'd have that to send off to whoever needed it at that time. The next level of granularity is going to be accounts. So rather than looking at a device level, we're going to be looking at an account level. So here you'll see a list of employees that have this installed here at Managed Methods. Again, you can slice and dice this by domain, specific emails, account or a time frame that you want to be looking for. And then we can also filter these specifically by accounts that have violations. A violation is going to be something like visiting a blocked site, trying to get to a YouTube video that has been blocked as well. And then the other thing I'll talk about shortly is, as David mentioned, our machine learning models are also going to be searching for inputs, which is extremely important and a really cool level of visibility. But on this accounts page, selecting any of these users, what you're going to get is a complete history of everything that that user has visited. So all of the sites they've gone to and whether or not they had any input in that site. This content filter is looking for any input. So not just Google searches, Bing searches. Anytime there's an input box and the user is typing text into it, it's going to be run through our machine learning models. This can be looking for self-harm, toxicity, or even custom risks. Things like social security numbers, credit card numbers, whatever you can dream of, we can normally make a risk for it. I'm sure I've helped a number of you go through that in the past. It's an extremely easy process. These again can be filtered based off of whether you want to look at a URL that they've searched for, an input that they've typed in somewhere, specific URL or input there that you can search for a string. And then we can look for specific risk types as well. So as mentioned, we have these different risks that you guys have seen in your environments already. We can filter specifically for those by any given user. Again, this report functionality is going to work directly off of the filters that you put in place there. To get to the nitty gritty here, the fun stuff, let's talk about policies. What do you want to block? We have the ability to import files or global lists from any other content filters you may have used in the past. So you can pull those in for kind of a nice, easy transition. You can also individually input sites here and block them, assign a category. So we can say Facebook is going to be chat for this instance, or we can do adult sites and add those sites to this block list. We've also added the ability to just choose categories. We currently run about 300,000 sites in our block lists or in our site lists. So you can just go through here and say, we don't want to allow dating sites, adult sites, aggressive sites, add those categories, and those are going to be blocked. One of the really cool things that we've done inside of here is policies can be applied at a domain level or at child OUs beneath the domain level. So you could have a block list that applies to everyone in the organization. And then from there, you could create more strict policies or allow more sites depending on the OUs inside of them. So maybe students are running one content filter while faculty are running a different set of blocked sites there. If there are any sites inside of these categories that you want to allow, you can just allow them to the allow list here. It's extremely easy, like I said, to add and delete them, very straightforward. UI team's done a great job of making this extremely clean. Not a lot of things to get confused about inside of here. Within policy, we also have the ability here to enable or disable any risks that you want to be searching for inside of those sites. You can search the risks, find the one you're looking for, or you can create your own risk inside of here. Very similar to the platform you're used to. We can do keyword searches. So if anybody types in my name or David's name and says they rule, we can create this risk, and moving forward, we'll be able to find these. Regex's a little more complicated. But here we can start searching for patterns, things like student numbers, any number pattern or word pattern that you want to find. Regex is great for. We also have YouTube, the ability to content filter in YouTube. So we can block things based off of keywords. So the keywords that are associated with that video. So you could do things like maybe guns or girls in bikinis, whatever keywords you want to put in there, we're able to allow or block those from this keywords page. We can block channels outright. We can block videos outright. And then we have this ability to analyze videos. So what you can do is put in the YouTube link and click analyze, and it's going to show you all the keywords associated with those videos, kind of help you get better metadata on those to create a more efficient filter. Lastly, in terms of policy, we've got our redirect URL. This is going to go to the block page. So when a user accesses the site, they can be sent to a custom page or just the page that we have ready for you guys out of the gate here. Moving on from policy, what you want to know is who's been violating your policies, right? So this could be visiting a blocked site, visiting a YouTube channel that's not allowed, or simply putting in a URL that's not allowed as well. In here, you can search for specific URLs, whether it's an input or a URL, an input string that someone has potentially searched for. You could break this down by OU, so look specifically at students, look specifically at faculty. We could apply specific filters, so if you only want to see social security numbers that have gone out or toxicity that people have been searching for, put those filters into place and you're good to go there. From the table below, what you'll see is the user and when they violated things. Max has been up to a lot of no good here. So he's the only one currently showing any violations, but what you'll see is a normal just URL block. We've got YouTube blocked currently entirely. So he's tried to visit it, 4 times here since the 19th. And then also on developer.mozilla.com, he had an input where he put in his social security number, which you can take note of. But he's got his social security number risk flag over here. Again, very easy to filter, sort this, and export it if you need to as well. Other than that, I can kind of jump into questions here. Is there a streamlined way? Oh, I missed that one. It looks like David already answered it for me.
Sorry, Fred. So it was the question about, if they're using other systems today from other vendors, is there a streamlined way to move over policies and rules and things they've spent years tweaking and setting up? And how I answered to that is the same way we work with our core flagship product today. And for those of you that have experience working with our customer success and our support team, we will take care of that for you. We will either work hand in hand with you to show you how you can do that so you can be trained on the product simultaneously, or for sake of speed and ease, we'll just work with you to take that information and on the back end, just transition that over for you. So again, for those of you that have, which pretty much everybody here, unless you're a newer customer, you would have had experience with our success teams, and we'll be with you every step of the way on that. And that's a part of our standard support offering that is provided right alongside with your subscription. So no extra cost, no need to hire consulting firms or training firms or anybody like that to convert that over. Looks you'd already covered the YouTube stuff, Fred. There was a question earlier about classroom management, the very first question out of the gates from Andrew. At this time, this is the very first kind of version 1, if you would, first release of the product. Technically, there's more versions of it behind the scenes from the development side, but this is the first offering into our customer base. And no, we will not have classroom management in this first release. Our product management team is currently, reviewing and looking into, different types of capabilities in that arena, but we don't have that yet today. And then Tim, our friend up there in the boat, let's see, what'd you ask here? Policy apply to OU or groups or just OU? Fred, you want to take that one?
So we break it down by OU currently. So it would be by OU. And these can be applied, you'll see in YouTube, they can be pushed, even at the YouTube level as well.
All right, so that covers the first initial set of questions that is rolled through. So, so with that said, now let's groups. I just got a note here. Group support is coming shortly, so that also is in the works right now. So currently, right now, it's OU, but we do have group support that is in the works and should be released soon. So let's go ahead and open it up to the folks out there for more questions. Let's see what we got here. Got 2 more popping in. Let's see, Fred, the next question is, how often are the policy lists updated? New sites are constantly popping up. Do we have to keep answering manually? So this is more on, like our blocking lists.
So we work to constantly keep these updated and add to them from our end. I'm assuming you're talking about the categories inside of them, and we're vetting the sites that are added inside of there. I don't think we have a strict schedule right now in terms of how often we're pushing those out, but obviously content filtering is an ongoing project. It's not just build a list and forget about it.
All right, let's see. The next question coming from Karen is this filtering in the browser, in quotes? If so, just Chrome, just wondering how this might work monitoring a Windows machine. Fred?
Yeah, so it is currently just in browser. Right now we support Chrome. So on a Windows machine, as long as they're logged into their Chrome profile, it'll work on Windows, it'll work on Mac, it'll work on any device if they're running Chrome.
All righty, good questions. I like this, especially when we got a group that knows this. So keep them coming. While we're waiting, maybe for more questions from you, our customers and participants, let us throw some questions out to you now, and you can answer them here in the Q&A or throw them into the chat. What content filtering technology do you use today? Some of you, I know personally, through my years working here at Managed Methods, I know some folks are doing things purely at the perimeter on devices. I know other folks are relying purely on their firewall and not at the device level. So if you wouldn't mind, just maybe throw out there, what are you currently using today for your content filter? And we'll start with that one. And then we've got a couple other questions, and then of course any Q&A, more questions that you have as participants, we'd like to hear them from you as well. And then, I see that, the first thing that's come up in there, thank you, Tiffany, Go Guardian, but the teacher option, classroom management, okay. If there are other, features, functionalities, things that you feel are of the utmost importance to you to consider a content filter, we'd love to hear that as well. Throw those in there so we can continue to push forward. All right, seeing some more come up. Seeing it looks like I've seen 3 Go Guardians so far. Seeing some iBoss. See some Lightspeed. Other names. So I think some of the names we see a lot with our existing customer base that we come across. Let's see, Go Guardian, Securely, Lightspeed, iBoss. I see a LineWise mentioned in here. So yeah, we're just curious as to the market sites and the markets that are out there. We know a lot of these companies. We know what they're using. Here's a good question: is there a timeline for Microsoft Edge release? Currently using Cisco Umbrella. That's from Tyler. Fred, I don't know an answer to that. I don't know that. Maybe if you're aware of that, we could always we might have to get back to you on that one, Tyler.
Yeah, timelines can be sticky. So I don't want to commit to anything. We're actively looking into, kind of the top browsers as much as possible and looking at what to implement next. But I can't really speak to a timeline.
Okay. All right. What was the old, what did that used to be called? Internet Explorer. I always, every time I see Microsoft Edge, I'm like, what is that? But I forgot it's the new name for Internet Explorer. So, you can tell I haven't worked on a Windows machine in years. I've been using Safari or Chrome. Okay, I see Bloxy. Okay, interesting one. Tim, you're asking a question. Have to filter guests. Okay, I got you. Yep. All right. Well, good. Thank you, folks, for those of you that have thrown out some answers. We appreciate it. Good to have insights into that. Other questions, comments? Like I said, we were trying to keep. We said we'd try and keep your day with you. We were shooting for around 30 minutes. We put 45 minutes in there just to keep it timely. But let's see here. We see. Okay, we answered Edge. We see questions. So Go Guardian, Content Firewall, iBoss, Lightspeed. Okay, previous. Okay. Tim, was yours a question, or are you? Let's see. Have to filter. Guess somehow on a solution to all browsers. Yep. Okay. Here comes a question. Will there be an ability to submit sites for classification?
That isn't something I have talked about with the team, but I love that idea. So
I think
we can definitely discuss it.
I think, well, the short answer is yes, through our, through support line, you can just simply, but we don't, as I understand it, we don't have a way to submit currently in the browser, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Anonymous attendee. Thank you for that, sharing that. We can, that's a good feedback there, but the short answer today is yes, we would take, feedback and information in through our customer success and customer support lines. Short as an email. Here comes another question. When someone is blocked, can they request to us, I presume the admin, to allow from that page being blocked? So go ahead.
Yeah, that's feedback we've heard a lot of. I know it's something we're putting a lot of thought into right now, as well as soft blocks, meaning you get a block page, but you're able to continue through it. So definitely feedback we've heard and we're looking into.
I'm getting a note here on our engineering team we are currently doing testing right now on Microsoft Edge because it is a Chromium based technology. We will be happy to, if any of you right now in the customer base want to go ahead and, I think it was Tyler, you asked that question. We'd be happy to set up a demo and or free trial for you and test it with you as well, because we know that there's going to be obviously different environments, but we are currently testing it internally. It's not in this the first rendition, but we can have that ready for you shortly to test out. Speaking of which, questions keep coming up, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for a moment so we can get the sign up page back up on there. I'm going to do share screen, and where was I? I'm over here on this side, I think. I'm going to try and share that again. I shared my screen, but the audio goes away every time I try to share. What I'm going to put up on the screen, you don't need to hear me say, but you'll see how you can scan the QR code or click on the bit.ly. And of course, you're going to get a copy of this. I'm going to try and share that up again.
Well, it sounds like are you back?
There we go. I think I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. And you can see the screen too, right?
I can.
All right. So folks, keep your questions coming. We'll keep answering those. But to activate your free trial for the introductory pricing. So this is the exciting stuff for existing customers. We, haven't really publicly announced this yet. I mean, we're not, we've been talking to people about it and prospects are looking at it. We got folks trying it out, of course. But the nice thing for you as existing Managed Methods customers, for being loyal members of our club and our crew, we're going to be offering introductory pricing to you as the customers in this initial years and for initial contracts over, some folks I know do their content filters in 2 and 3 year increments. So you can either scan the QR code here on the screen, you can go to that bit.ly. You're of course going to get a copy of this, and what we'll do is, this information comes into us. Our customer success team will reach out to you. We'll schedule a private demonstration and then activation session and get you up and running. And this is the time of year. The reason we're putting this out is because the feedback from you, our customers, have said, hey, June, July, and August is the time of year that we try these things out, test them, implement them, et cetera, to get ready for the upcoming school year that would begin next fall. So, but how many of you are out? I know here in Colorado, this is the final week of school for most Colorado schools. I'm just curious how many of you are you getting ready to wrap up school and get going? So any other technical questions for Fred about the product? Any questions for me from, how you get set up? I think it's, again, pretty straightforward. We made it easy. A simple bit.ly, you click on that link, brings you to a sign up page similar to what you folks have done before when you signed up with Managed Methods for our flagship Cloud Monitor product, or you can take a picture of this QR code right now on your phone. You'll also get a copy of this presentation within the next 24 hours. You'll get the presentation and the recording from today. Let me see, is there any other questions that have come up? I think we might have covered them all. Anyone else? Fred, is there anything else you want to share with the crew out there?
No, if there's anything I can revisit for anybody, let me know. Like I said, I feel like it's really straightforward, but I'm happy to dive back into anywhere for you guys if you'd like me to.
Thank you, Nu. Appreciate it. Getting some thank yous from the folks. And again, we appreciate everybody taking time out of your day to day to take a look at this new stuff we got coming out. We're set out with a mission from all the feedback we've had from our customer base over the years to extend the capabilities of our flagship Cloud Monitor product for Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, and other popular cloud apps. We've been asked for years, hey, can you guys reach out to the browser, out to the device? And we decided it was time to head out to that browser level. And we're going to be excited to be able to take you from browser to drive file and from the email box back out to the browser and all those things in between as we bring this technology into the market. Ray, another question. So on Windows devices, the users have to be signed into Chrome, correct? Yes. Yeah, currently it's a Chrome browser support only at this moment, although we had that conversation earlier about the Microsoft Edge. So Ray, hopefully that answers that question for you. We'll go ahead and stay on for a few moments. Anyone got any good jokes? Fred, got a good one you can share? I know. But if there's other questions that come in, people have questions or comments for us, let us know. I'm going to real quick check behind the curtain here, see if anyone else has given me any further instructions or questions. Obviously, feature functionality, I threw that out there earlier, and one of the first items that folks have mentioned is classroom management capabilities and of course support for maybe Microsoft Edge. Any other questions? The question: if they are not signed into Chrome, is the user not filtered? And I believe the answer is correct, right? Would they have to be signed into their Chrome environment? Correct,
Yeah,
Fred?
so they would have to be signed into the Chrome environment.
So Andrew, hopefully that answered that. Obviously, I think, you're dealing with different device worlds. So obviously Chromebooks, you have to be signed into your Chrome environment in Chromebooks, especially if it's a school issued device. You can, obviously then there's Windows that could be running Chrome. There can be Macs that can be running Chrome. So it's a good question though, Andrew. And right now, of course, they got to be into the Chrome environment, signed in. And I think, Ray, that was kind of a piggyback on your question as well in a similar thread. So if there's other questions, comments, we'll go ahead and take them now. Otherwise, I think we'll wait until a couple more minutes past, maybe about 5 past the hour, and then we can wrap up. And let's see if make sure I'm double checking I didn't miss any questions. We talked about sites. We talked about different timelines. Okay. Will we be able to separate filtering from admins, teachers, and students? And the answer, I believe, is yes, because of OUs and groups. Yes?
Yeah, correct. So you can set policies at a domain level that'll work their way down through parent OUs and child OUs. And then in those individual OUs, you can set policy as well. So as long as you've got the OU structure to support it, admins, teachers, and students could all have their own separate policies that they're running off of.
You're welcome, Ray. Got a thank you there from Ray. And then I I just got a text message from someone that knows me that's in here, but they can't get their chat to work. Is the $2 per year introductory price for customers? How long is it valid? What if we do a multi-year? Yes, and that's because I know that customer's in a multi-year. So yes, the price that we're going to be coming out with the public is going to be at $3. Actually, it might be a little higher than that. I'm not sure, but I think it's the introductory pricing for the general public that's not an existing management customer is going to be indeed higher. The $2 per student per year, to that question, if you do a multi-year contract where it's a prepaid, just like all of our current managed methods multi-year contracts, we do anywhere from a couple months out to 36 months. And of course, a couple months, meaning those of you that do term deals like this time of year, we've had a lot of folks that are coming on board with term deals for the month of, say, May and June to get to their July 1 fiscal year. And then they do, either a full 12-month subscription or a 24 or 36-month. So the introductory pricing, if you sign up this summer, and you do a multi-year agreement with us, that $2 price would be applicable to that. So that's funny because, yeah, they said they tried to get the Zoom going. Hopefully people could hear us. He said earlier he couldn't hear my audio, and then it came back. So any other questions from anyone out there? Otherwise, we're 5 minutes past the top of the hour. It's 12 o'clock Mountain. I know it's after 2 on the East Coast. So we certainly appreciate, first and foremost, your continued support as customers of Managed Methods. These the last few years, man, I know a lot of crazy topsy-turvy for folks, and it seems like we hopefully are getting back to we're finally back to those normal times. And this past school year, I think, was a good year for folks. And I know everybody's looking forward to being able to catch their breath in the summertime. That's when a lot of projects happen out there. So we appreciate your time. Really excited about this new product introduction with Content Filter from Managed Methods, and we'd love your feedback. You're the ones that are going to help kind of steer the ship on this platform. And so scan the QR code, click the bit.ly, sign up for a private demonstration for your district, and a free test run of this platform for your district, and let us know what you think. All right. Well, Fred, thank you so much for taking time out of your day today. And again, thanks for everyone here in the audience for joining us today. We greatly appreciate it. You'll be getting a copy and a recording of the presentation in your email box within the next 24 hours or so. So thanks, folks.
Thanks, everyone.
And have a great day.